Hello. Hello. We are back. We are live with me, your main man, Pat Bernard. Of course, alongside with me is my main man, Steve Fuentes. Welcome to the Attack in Third. Um, and again, here we are pulling our hairs out. Uh, we are in desperation mode now. I get it. The Philadelphia Union are injured. They got the injury bug completely running in and out of that locker room. And I get all that. However, the House of Horrors have haunted this team for quite some time now. Only one win at home, and they refuse or they just can't find a way to come up with a finish. Steve, listen, I've only seen one half of soccer for quite some time now. The first half of soccer was really, really good. They were getting some shots, but however, they just cannot find the back of the net. And in the second half, this team is nowhere to be found. The defense looks like they're cooked. They're gassed. If you want to blame the heat, this heat wave that we've been going through here in Philadelphia, you want to blame that. You want to say that's the reason why. Okay, I guess that you can use that excuse. But the main fact is this defense is getting cooked. I've seen Patrick Amawal, and I might be pronouncing that wrong. He cooked.
Wow, you nailed that. That was actually pretty good. That was really good. That was really good.
I appreciate it. Little Barry Horowitz. But yeah, he cooked this defense in the second half right off the bat. And within 8 minutes of one another, he did a header goal. And then he found, again, he cooks Glasnost, gets a nice little window, gets just enough spacing where he could find the back of the net. And listen, I don't know the reason why, the real reason why that Jim Curtin decided to go with Andre. I don't know the real reason why on Jim Curtin. I don't know the real reason why Jim Curtin went with Andrew Rick, other than Oliver Semmle. I mean, if you want to say he needed a break, whatever, take a step back, look at the big picture, I guess. But is this team right now in desperation mode?
Yeah, big time. When you're, and I kind of wrote about it in the post match article that I did. It's when you're starting to rely on teenagers for a spark. That's what he said. That's why he said he went to Andrew Rick.
Yes.
That with Semmle, where they never anticipated him having to play in, let alone start in as many matches that he has, but to play in now, it's either like 17 or 18 matches he's appeared in. And so, he reiterated today at the press conference, that it was to give him a mental break, that, it sucks that when injuries like this happen, this is what it's like, it's next man up sort of deal. And when you don't go out and you don't buy players or you don't go sign players like every other team is, who your next man up is? Not even a man yet. It's still just a teenager. So it's the next teenager up. And so it's like, damn. And it sucks because then look at the position that, and you just talked about it. The Glesnes being shook and made to look silly, play, another play where now Andrew Rick is put to the test. When if his defense and his center backs in front of him, the first goal, I kind of put a little blame on Jack Elliott, where we've heard that before, haven't we? So it sucks because then you're putting CJ only in a crappy position to where it's, hey, we're down 2-0. Let's see if you can be a spark for us now to hopefully do something. And, you could see it. I don't know about you, but if I was 17 years old, when I'm used to, you were down there the other night, last night for the Union 2 match. There's not as many people there than there is for the Union games. So when you're, boom, hey, thrown out, and then now you have boo birds coming. And it's like, oh, man, you're throwing this 17-year-old into this sort of atmosphere. It sucks that this is where we are now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's weird because for a long time, the Philadelphia Union has done a great job with the academy, with their farm system. But however, at their current state, I guess they weren't expecting a curveball in their life to go sour. Again,
Right.
they didn't have a plan B intact. They weren't expecting an Andre Blake to get hurt and have something ready. Again, Oliver Semmle has done a good job being a serviceable backup. But however, this is, again, some people are looking at him to be this 5 to 6 year veteran player, and this is really year one for him. He's still wet behind the ears. He was pretty much supposed to be like a quarterback on the bench, just would have played, learning from one of the greats, learning and imitating his steps. However, he was not. I don't think in his mind, or he might have thought, yeah, I'll get some playing time, but no, here, go right. You're going right into the wolves, and good luck, and that's it. He wasn't expected to be the full time starter, but now here he is, and this is really an audition because we don't know. I mean, hey, listen, is he going to be the guy for next year? Who knows? But it sucks. Yeah. It definitely sucks for him. I mean, and then you look at it too. You mentioned about Andrew Rick again. You're looking for desperation moves because you're bringing up kids now. You're looking out for, okay, well, they're young and they're, listen, this is still you're asking a goldfish to survive in the ocean with sharks. I mean, what do you really expect is going to happen on this first day? What do you expect to happen? You know what I mean? He was going to get introduced to the MLS the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Here, kid, best of luck. And like I said, Andre Blake. There's Jim mentioned it in his press conference. He's getting the gloves back on. He's slowly getting back in the rhythm of things. But again, it sucks. It sucks. And then like I said, but just when you look at this team overall, it's from 2 years ago, and it hurts because this team was a championship built team from 2 years ago, and then within 2 years, this team goes from riding high to now just it's struggling. And let me bring up a stat. This team was notorious for averaging last year before 3 to 4 goals. Their last time in regular season play that they saw 3 goals was back on October 3rd without the playoffs. If you subtract the playoffs, October 3rd was the last time they saw 3 goals at home. That's bad. Jeez. Of last year. I mean, This team is going through it's no longer more of a pothole, a rough patch. This is a sinkhole, my friend. This is the street has opened up hole and we are sunk into it. And this Union team, look at it. Pretty much this is the halfway point. And I don't know how can they climb themselves out of this hell.
And it sucks because we were talking about it before the show. Julian Carranza is gone, and no one like him, at least who I've heard of, is walking through the door, and Ty's doing his best. I think, he really wanted an encore performance of what he was able to do in Cincinnati because he was super frustrated that they couldn't at least take the draw, walk away from the Cincinnati match with the draw. So he was everywhere. He was one of him and Rafa were the only guys really giving it their all and sprinting and really trying to create something on offense. And even with, losing possession, really trying to regain possession back and fight for control back of the ball. So it's no one else, I was hoping that would have been contagious, and maybe some other guys would have caught on to that. But the body language for some of these guys right now, Jack McGlynn, I'm sure he's super frustrated with how things are because all season he's played really well. That left foot, you mention it week after week. That left foot of his, it's special. And for there not to be anything really on the other end of it half the time, or there not be a supporting cast. It takes the life out of you. You know, I'm pretty sure we've talked about it before that, you know, when this is a trend of disappointing losses after disappointing losses, you don't want to go to work anymore, do you? When you know it's constant bad news after bad news at the office. So imagine what it's like for these guys going into these matches when it's like, man, we don't have our guy in goal. We don't even know who's going to be in goal really until week after week now, because when was the last time you saw goaltenders like this, you know, being played? And for a goaltender to be a spark, you know, I feel like two is a lot to ask for of a goaltender, of a teenager, you know, and so of someone debuting in their MLS. So, you know, those are the little things that it's hard to hop on board with any plan moving forward if there is a plan.
All the problems start at the top. All the union problems start at the top. All the union problems start at that front office. And like I said, all the problems start at the top. All the problems start in that front office. I mean, Julian Kranz is not walking through that door anytime soon. And like you just said, they are trying to do their best imitation with Ty Barimo to make him that guy. And because we saw a small sample size of him in Cincinnati pulling on a showcase, doesn't mean he's going to be night in and night out consistent. I hope that he is. Then your goaltender goes down, and then you took a fresh kid wet behind the ears and you fed him to the wolves without no support. And then you're relying on your teenagers. You're relying on teenagers to put, like you said, put a fire in this team. And it's not happening. You want to know what would help this team. I know your wallet's sticking in mind, Union front office. My wallet's got nothing but dead Molson inside of it and candy wrappers. You guys have money in it. Do yourself a favor. Open it up. There's a thing called green cash in here. Go get yourself a playmaker somewhere, please, or a checkbook. You have one. I can't even spell checkbook, but I know you guys have one. And start spending that money a little bit. I mean, this is pathetic now. This team is hit a dry wall. This Subaru Park used to put the fear in the opposing teams. Now, for the home team, it's the House of Horrors.
Not anymore.
There's no happy place here. The farm system, the Union 2, just got rocked a little bit yesterday. I grant it. They are sitting at the top of the mountain right now at 8-4 right now, or 8-3 rather. Great, good for them. But I mean, like you said, at some point, I mean, the coaching staff, the players are all frustrated. And like you and I talked prior, Daniel Gazdag is going to come back here. But how much really does that help? It doesn't matter. You can have a stacked offense out there. The problem is that your goaltending and the defense is letting you down on every possession. Your defense is getting cooked on every play, leaving big holes. Your goaltender can't keep up. He's getting burnt out there. And then you're trying to play catch up. And like I said, this team can only give you one half of soccer. It's been in and out every week now. Every week this team's been in and out. You saw this Charlotte game. They played great. They played solid. They were getting some shots, but they couldn't come up with a finish. And by that second half, they were done. They were cooked. That defense was cooked. Like I said earlier, if you want to blame the heat wave that was here for the past 2 weeks, okay, if you want to use that excuse. But the problem is, like I said, the lack of defense and the inexperienced goaltending is hurting this team. If the front office would just open that wallet, like I said, mine's got dead malls, candy wrappers. They got a lot of green, and they got a checkbook. So please go use it at some point to salvage this season before it gets any worse. Please. We got a couple comments coming in here. Muffler Mike.
Oh, here we go.
He says, good evening, gents. To hear there is a fan badge chanting sell the team is disheartening. Yeah, it is disheartening, Steve.
Yeah.
Will those fans be chanting if the Union would have won the championship 2 years ago? Yeah, Steve, I think they would be, because even though
I
they
don't think
won,
so.
it's what have you done for me now? And maybe not, but yeah, I mean, what have you done for me lately is the name of the game in sports. And this
Yeah.
team is just hit a wall. And I get it. The injury bug that surrounds the Philadelphia Union is lingering. Your top goaltender is beyond getting lingered with the injury bug, and your top striker is no longer here. So the union, I mean, I don't know how the union front office are not pushing the panic button now, because I am. I'm breathing into a brown paper bag every time I see the union take the field.
I think there would have been more of a leash for all this, because it would have been, if they would have won 2 years ago, it would have proven you can win a chip this way.
Yeah.
You can win a cup this way. So I feel like that's the biggest argument for a certain fan base. So I think a certain group of fans or a certain type of fan maybe would still be booing or be booing, maybe not sell the team, because I think 2 years removed from if they would have won would be hard. But I think that's what entices the sell the team even more, because we're only 2 years removed, and this is the result we have. This is the team that we are now at home, and it's the same team. It's the same exact uh, squad. Minus now a Ty Baribo, where it's like he's been there, and you can't really count that as a new signing. It's just you never played him before, so it feels new, but it's not really new blood. But yeah, no, I feel like there would have been a little bit more of a leash, but at this point,
You're right.
how fans are, you can't excuse how this season has gone. I think everything is warranted. All the sell the team,
And
the booze, it's all warranted.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, like I said, 2 years ago, this team was becoming a talk of the town. It was starting to draw eyes to the soccer world.
Yeah,
And then two
yeah,
years later, um, as long as I've been a Union fan, I've never heard the boo birds as strong as this. I mean, but they're surrounding Subaru Park, constantly booing, and this is by halftime. I mean, I felt like I was in an old time Flyers game, but no, this is the boo birds are flying around. But at some time, the boo birds could be booing, and if that message ain't going to be heard, then the next option is going to be the empty seat, and that would have to force the union to go spend a little payola, because that's the last thing you want to see as a franchise, because that's a slap in the face not only to the franchise but to the coaches, the teams. Because let's be honest, from a former pro wrestler, let's be honest, the only reason you want to perform or because you want to see an audience, you want to be center of attention, you want to be
yeah.
under the bright lights. I mean, what's the point of being under bright lights if you have no intentions to take your game further? So and that hurts, because this team doesn't ever plan on spending money. This team wants to just be a doormat, and just rely on building through the economy. That's all fun and dandy, but I mean, if they haven't opened their eyes to the rest of the league yet, the rest of some of the franchises are already spending cash, and you can always go to Miami to see what's up. I mean, the man himself, Messi, is trying to turn MLS into the next level. So, and he's bringing a lot of his buddies over with him. So that's what the Philadelphia Union needs to start looking at, bringing some guys over. I mean, like you said, you got the same core other than your main guy. Your number one striker is not here. So now you're going to have to rely on Daniel Gazdag and Ty Baribo, and then blank and Nua. And it sucks. It sucks. And then, like I said, and we mentioned this, again, I'll mention one more time, the injury bug. We get it. Andre Bedoya, injury bug. Andre Blake,
Yeah.
the big time tarantula injury bug. He's got it. And this team's suffering with it. And your best striker pretty much said, and I'm paraphrasing, went, adios. So now you're left with, oh, guys, you have nothing. And Jim, I'll give him all the credit in the world. He's the first guy who says in his press conference, here, I'll take the first punch in the chin. And
Yeah.
I'm just worried about now with his messaging has it grown stale, because in the first half of I see these games again, I only see one half of soccer, and the other half it's just, oh, we're playing desperation mode, we're playing garbage time. This guy stepped up and said something. This guy, but are they stepping up because your message has fallen on deaf ears? I mean, I don't know. It's just, and I get it. It sucks because everyone's frustrated with this Union team. We came here on paper expecting a bunch of W's. We were hoping it was going to be better from what it was last year. At least last year they were a playoff team. This year, listen, you slipped to the 11th seed. You fell to the 11th seed. I mean, like I said, in March, you were knocking on the second and third seed. I get it was really early, but you have slipped now by the halfway point to the 11th seed. You're 4-7-8. 4-7-8. You got one of the worst. You're 1-6 at home. 1-6 at home. It's bad. I mean, like I said, if there's any time, and again, they get right games. Go to Montreal, and Montreal's a lot better at home. But if you get things going there, and then out to Chicago, maybe you can start feeling stuff. But it's become wishful thinking at this point. So that's why I asked the question to people: are you guys starting to want to throw in the towel in the season? Do you guys want to hit the restart? Think about 2025. I mean, or Steve, have you not given up? Maybe you're like, you know what? They have a chance to turn things around in the second half of the season.
I think, and then I have a question for you after this.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a chance to turn it around in a sense of being a playoff team. I don't see them making noise in the playoffs just based off of what the rest of the MLS is doing. And the top of the East, I mean, we just went through it. We just played Miami. We just played Cincinnati, and you saw those outcomes. We played Cincinnati to a great, hard-fought match, but is that realistic? Most likely again? I don't think so when Cincinnati's going to be playing at the top of their level. And you saw how quick it was that they were able to go down off a mistake from the Union and go finish off, with a goal. So I think they can turn it around in the sense of maybe you can find some answers to start building on next season. And I hate that I'm already thinking about next season, but at this rate, and my question for you is, do you, even if they go and get someone in the summer transfer window, do you think that it'll do anything to the fans enough that it'll quiet the sell the team, or it'll quiet the boo birds, or it'll make people want to still show up to matches and stuff like that? Because I'll be honest, the atmosphere, I had never heard that place so angry, and then it started to be like within the fans, we're getting angry with each other, and then by the 85th minute, I could see the whole entire Union spelled out in the stands already, and that place was empty. So do you think that even if they go and sign somebody, that it'll do anything for the fans that'll make them have any hope?
It all depends on one guy, and it's Andre Blake and how healthy he's going to be. That's what it comes down to. Because if he's going to come back and he's going to be 100% Andre Blake, he's going to be the Andre Blake that we all know he can be. If you get him back, and if they go find themselves a striker, a bona fide striker, then you have a chance of turning this thing around. But it all comes back to Andre Blake and his health. We've seen him plenty times through the beginning of the season where he's been hurt. He's been in and out of the lineup. And Oliver Semmle has been getting playing time. But like I said, to answer your question, it all comes back on Oliver. It all comes back to Andre Blake and how healthy he can be. If he's 100% healthy, he's back to playing like he was 2 years ago. And they go in the summer transfer window, and find themselves a legit striker, you have a shot to turn this thing around. All loss will be no hope, or all loss is no hope. However, and just botch that. But yeah, like I said, it all comes down to Andre Blake's health. Andre Blake's health is at 100%. He plays like he was 2 years ago. He's back to being strong. The defense gets back to playing, tough in front of him. Because, like PK Subban said in one of these press games or post game shows, you don't want to let your goaltender down. So, and that's one guy. We all know Andre Blake's a leader. He'll get in someone's grill. He'll get in someone's booty. He's going to expect that defense to play at 100 in front of him. He's not going to take this laziness. He's not going to take this defense being flat. He's going to get in someone's grill and someone's booty. So that he's going to recommend the Glasnost. He's going to recommend the Elliot. You better be on your A game in front of me.
Yeah.
If not, you don't need to be here. So, but yeah, it all, like I said, it all comes back to Andre Blake, him being healthy. If he's healthy, if Andre Blake is healthy at 100%, and he's playing like he was 2 years ago, you can go out and get himself a striker. All will be just fine. They have a chance to turn this ship around and get it back to Union soccer. Oh, you're right.
Andre
because
Blake needs Cherry. He needs Cherry injury law.
Yes, what a good way to segue that.
He needs Cherry. He needs Cherry, and we'll get him back. We need him to see.
If you get hurt at work, in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Cherry Law Firm is here to fight for you and get what you deserve. Cherry Injury Law is a dedicated, well-established personal injury law firm built on the promise of aiding the seriously injured throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you have been seriously injured in the state of PA by the negligence of another, and if you have questions for a Westchester or media personal injury attorney, please don't hesitate to call. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right. And again, that number is 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com.
All right, guys, we are back. It's me, Steve. We are breaking down the House of Horrors down in Subaru Park and what happened. How can they turn this around? We know this team has been hit with the injury bug. We know Andre Blake's been dealing with the injury bug. We know that Bedoya's been dealing with the injury bug. But how can they turn this team around? I kind of laid out the format, how they can possibly turn this thing around. But however, but the current state of the Philadelphia Union and the Union fans is just not good. And they're just, they're worn out. The Boo Birds are getting worn out. That message is not going to get across. And I feel like I said, the next step is going to be the MDC. That's the only way you're going to get that in front of us to open up that wallet and start taking out the green and start spending it. That's going to be your only solution. Like I said, I know their wallet's thicker than mine. I got candy wrappers, dead moss, cucumber, credit cards I don't even use. I mean, they got it all. But anyways, Steve, my next question to you is, first of all, you were there Saturday night. What was your reaction? Like you said, you were more focused on the fan base being in an uproar about the play that's in front of it. But when you watch the play in front of you, what's the most telling story to you?
Defense. The defense and the almost 180, flip night and day of what it was last season. That was the backbone of this squad, of this club. And, you really keep harping on it, and the more you keep talking about it, the more I'm like, man, maybe it is. It is just Andre Blake. You get Andre Blake back, and that is your backbone of this team. That is your moving forward for the next few seasons. He's going to be the captain. He's going to be the leader, once Bedoya is, in the front office and doing his role there after this season. So to me, it was that defense. And, you talked about it before. Andrew Rick is not going to go and start yapping at Glasnost, is not going to start yapping at Elliott. Oliver Semmle, you saw him from time to time doing it, but nowhere near the sort of magnitude and what the response. To me, it's the response that the players give back and how they react to Andre Blake giving them instruction. They actually go and do it compared to Zemla and Rick, where it's like they're not really probably even going to pay attention to really how they deliver and how they come at them for being out of position and stuff. And so I think a lot of those things go into it. But it was the first half, it was your typical Charlotte Union game. It was another scoreless half where you saw a lot of Ty and a lot of Rafa trying to create things. It was a lot of their chances throughout the match just came up empty because of deflections. They really couldn't even get the ball to the goalie. I mean, Charlotte's defense and the way they attacked was on point. And then I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but Patrick, I know his first name was Patrick, 33 for Charlotte. You nailed it, man. I got intimidated. I got intimidated when you didn't even stutter. You just went right for it. I was like, dang. Because I was even trying to pronounce it in the press box. I was like, dang, this is going to suck on Thursday trying to pronounce this for Pat and I. And then you come out here and you just were like, bam. But
yeah, well,
he was a man on a mission.
Yes, that's one thing about Al. Al says, Pat, you can't pronounce Bill Smith, but these long hockey / soccer names, you got it down. I don't understand. But yes.
It's so true.
Yes. But yeah, again, I can't beat this record enough. You're right. Yeah, Steve, everything you just said, you were right. The backbone of this team is Andre Blake. You get him back. You get him back fully healthy, you have a chance to turn this thing around. He's your bread and butter. Without him, this team is in the bad spot. So you get, like I said, you get Andre Blake back. You get your backbone back. Like you said, he's the backbone of this team. Andre Blake is the backbone of this team. He's your bread and butter. You get him back. You get yourself a striker in the transfer window. You can turn this thing around. And like you just said about Oliver Semmle, they hear him, the defense hear him, but they listen to Andre Blake. And when he says, hey, I need you guys to step up and play in front of me, they're going to step up. Glezos and Elliott are going to step up and play in front of him. And because this nonsense of those guys getting cooked and leaving too many holes on the defense side of the ball will be straightened out by that man. I guarantee you. They're going to respond to that man ASAP. And that's it. I mean, like I said, you can't be playing in these games from being down in these 0-2 holes. You can't do it and expect to win the game. You can't. You can't be playing one half of soccer. That's not happening. You got to play the full 93 minutes. Tough. So, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next. In Montreal, again, you get Dan Gaza. He's going to be on minutes restriction, which is a plus because that can really help out the offense. The offense needs it. They need a playmaker in the worst way. They need it. And to straighten up your – so you would probably have who to be your forwards. You probably have to start. You probably have the same guys you had going in from the last game. Everything will probably be the same. Yeah. You probably run the 4-4-2, diamond, whatever, and you go for it from there. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to say. But these are two bottom feeders teams. But however, I don't know if the Philadelphia realize this. Montreal's off of you by 1 point, my friend. You lose this game, you might as well go take your washcloth and throw it. You throw it in. It's over. To me, it would be over. And I know that's premature to say, but you lose to this squad, it's over. This is a desperation game, man.
Yeah,
because you're going to be in the basement.
Yeah. They're at the bottom probably of the conference. They lose
I
this
mean,
because
look at all.
it's
Go ahead.
Montreal's going to leapfrog them. Montreal's going to leapfrog them if they win this. So now you're at least in 12th, and then you're hoping that DC loses. Who are they playing? They're playing the Red Bulls. So it's it's hard to fathom and it's hard to imagine a scenario where this team moving forward is even able to get themselves back into playoff contention if they stay as is. And one thing I was thinking about, Jose Martinez played great the other night for Venezuela. Damian Lowe played at the 6 for Jamaica, even though they lost. But do you think that those guys getting some time away in Gazdag, I don't think he got that many minutes playing for Hungary, but do you think that those guys getting away from the club and then also being able to see how the club is from afar will help maybe bring some juice back to this team when everyone is back together?
Good point. They probably picked up some things. They probably stand back from from afar and saw a big picture, and they say, "You know what? Let's go give this a whirl." And try those things. Listen, I'll be right back. I got to take care of a personal matter, but yeah, I'll join you right back.
Perfect. Yeah, no. So my biggest thing is if we can get a win, a win at home, but they're away. So if they can get another win away, it'll do, I think, wonders for the morale of a club that is really, really down. The body language of this team after that second goal from Charlotte, I saw guys that are laying on the field, shoulders shrugged, and it's that is going to transfer into the fans. And it was kind of really intense to be able to see how all of it kind of molds in together between the fans, how makes the players play, and it's like a whole picture of how this season is. But moving forward, I really want to talk about maybe the lineup, who could make a difference going into this matchup. I really liked the fact that Sullivan was a starter on the midfield, that he didn't play as a forward. He played on the midfield. And I feel like that's a better spot for him. Hey, there you Hey, I'm talking about the lineup that
Hey,
Curtin put out for, and how he used them um, against Charlotte, and how I feel like I was talking about Sullivan and how I really like him playing midfield instead of a forward, just because I feel like his speed and his athleticism brings something different to that midfield, especially when Gazdag isn't there. When you have, it was what, Bueno, Rafa, and Sullivan, who started in the midfield. And so now with Gazdag coming back, I don't know if he's going to start, because I know you mentioned it about Jim Curtin at the press conference, and if he he wasn't sure if he was going to start or if he was going to be on the bench, but he was going to play in some sort of manner. So who do you see starting on Saturday in the midfield? Do you see Bueno being a starter again? Do you see Flock? Who do you see coming in for Gazdag if he's not a starter?
Give me Bueno. Bueno brings toughness.
Yeah.
To me, he brings a little bit more physical. Yeah, I would bring him out there just because of his physical presence. You're going to need that up there. That to me is going to be your start on the midfield. And then, like I said, for your forwards, I imagine it's going to be Sullivan. You're going to get your normal crew that you had last week. Sullivan, you're going to have McGlynn. I'm hoping to see a Noah signing at some point. I mean, I get it. He's coming off the bench, but man, it's something needs to get. But like you said, I hope more of the so that guys like could be a quarterback coach, kind of like, hey, listen, what I've seen overseas, I can implement that into the game. Let me be that guy. And you mentioned though, not to try and shift gears though, but you talked about Jim Curtin. You meant that Bedoya. Bedoya's role, I think, into the future is going to be that guy. And Jim kind of mentioned in his press conference, he's going to be that kind of guy to help make decisions on talent and where to place them. So that could be a big help moving forward. He might be a better coach, as far as, his IQ and all that stuff. So we'll see about that. I mean, like I said, we know it's wearing thin, but that's I think that when you really think about it, they are missing Bedoya. Bedoya is being missed. Again, being that spark of the bench, being that guy trying to get the team motivator, play, being that guy. They're definitely missing him. But let's roll fast, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
If you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. If you want to travel with the pros, then go to phillysportstrips.com. Philly Sports Trips features premium travel and tailgating experiences for the best fans, ever, the Philadelphia sports fan. Philly Sports Trips has self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights for Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and even the Union. They even offer day trips for more local games. Go to phillysportstrips.com, sign up immediately, and tell them EOP sent you. Do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2024 season, including the Brazil trip week 1. Jump on it now before you lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com and don't miss the next great Philly sports moment.
All right, guys, we are back. We are getting ready to talk about Saturday's matchup. The Philadelphia Union will be taking on Montreal. Montreal don't have a guy more than 6 goals. But, however, I mean, listen, they met about 3 weeks ago. Again, a 0-0 tie. And, yeah, it's – no, I'm sorry, a 2-2 tie. I'm sorry. They had a 2-2 tie.
2-2,
yeah. They had a 2-2 tie about 3 weeks ago, and now it's up in Montreal. And I don't know. I'm already waving the white flag. I'm saying this is going to be another L. I think that Montreal's going to win. I think they'll put up a 4-1 win over Philly. I think they're going to start cooking.
4-1.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely waving the flag. I'm gonna go. I'm with you though. I'm with you. I until I see it, until they give me a reason to believe, I just can't see a win. Really. I'm not gonna go 4-1. I'm gonna go 2-1. And I feel like it's gonna be more. It's gonna feel like a 2-0 sort of win. But I think Montreal walks away with this. They're just I don't have a reason. And it sucks. That's the part that sucks the most.
No, and with the way the hell Philadelphia currently is with their defense, listen, they could make you and I playing for Montreal. I mean, you and I could put up 12 goals on this team. I mean, this is how bad it is out here. I mean, there's no communication. They're getting good. And the part of me now is starting to believe, is there heart into this? You question it. You said it earlier, Steve. You go to work. Is your heart into your job? Are you enjoying what you do? I mean, because you're giving me half of a performance, and the other half, it's like you're on vacation. Like you don't come back. You're mentally not coming back from that locker room. You're still in there. Like you're cooked. You're tired. And like I said, is this team in Jim Curtin's message as far as the defense side of the ball? Offense, they have tons of energy. They're ready. They're trying. I think they get over creative with plays, trying to come up with something, and nothing's panning out. Like last night, take for example, I went down to catch Union 2 and Red Bull 2. I covered that, and again, the same kind of formula. Philly was pass, trying to get two Q2, and New York was less is more. They were driving the ball down. They were reading everything Philly wanted to do. They were causing turnovers, the odd man rushes, all that. So it's like the same kind of formula out there. We got a comment coming in. Kyle says, it says, oh, can we talk about the pain and fizz we're going through right now with Harbors? Listen, check that out right after this. You'll catch the fight finals right here on the Edge of Philly Sports, Kyle. Right now, there's enough problems at Subaru Park that me and Steve here are trying to clean up. We know Simpson Bank has a little bit of an issue, but that's just one night. We're talking about a handful of games at Subaru Park. That's the House of Horrors. So, again, they're going to go up to Montreal, and like I said, I have no faith. With the injury bug that's lingering this team, you don't have a consistent playmaker. It's hard for me to believe in this team anymore. It's hard for me to believe in this team. The players don't look like they believe in themselves anymore. Like I said, only one half of soccer is just not going to cut it. And it's like they go in that locker room, they don't come out mentally. And that's it. And, and again, I've heard Jim multiple times, hey, this guy said something, this guy said something. Great. Are these guys saying something because your message is not getting across? Yeah. And that's how I feel. Like I feel like he says a lot, or the players say a lot because his message is grown stale. And it sucks. But it happens in sports. A coach's message gets lost in the shuffle somewhere. I mean, talent goes a long way here, and look, that goes above his. That's not his decision either.
Yeah.
But anyways, Steve, we're getting close to the end of the show. We have predictions to come up with as far as the Euro tournament. So let's punch that up here somewhere. I wish we had the graphic. But let me see if I can punch it up here as far as on my my computer feed. But yeah, I mean, Steve, are you pumped up for the MLS, for the Euro Tour? Euro.
I'll be honest. I've been watching a lot. I've been watching a lot more of the Copa America than I have. I was only really watching the Euros for Hungary for Gazdag, but I've been watching a lot of the Copa America, and last night watching Jose Martinez. He played great against Mexico, and it was funny because Curtin said it in the conference today, in the press conference today, about how it was kind of funny that Jose Martinez was the peacemaker at the end of that match.
Yeah,
there was like a big scuffle between Venezuela and Mexico, and he, of all people, was the one. So exactly what I just said. Maybe time away. Maybe some of these guys will change. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's changed Martinez that he's the one trying to play peacemaker. But I'm excited. Right before the show, Team USA just lost to Panama in a upsetting loss. So it's stupid red flag or red card on Weah in the 18th minute. It's just soccer, the teams I root for right now, it's just not going well. What about you? Are you you have a country or a team?
Yes, of course. I'm going to be locked in this weekend. Saturday at noon, Italy taking on Switzerland. I've got to go with the green, white, and red. The green, white, and red. I got to go with. I'm going to go with Italy here.
You have your track jacket on, you ready to go?
I'm going to go with it.
Ready to fist pump?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. So yeah, Italy and Switzerland. I think Italy will walk out of that one. And then Sunday at noon, it's England take on Slovakia. I think England will take that one as well.
I think England too.
Yeah, and then next week it really starts to get hairy. Romania and Netherlands start at 12 o'clock. What are you feeling?
Netherlands, because this is the knockout stage, right? They're in the round of 16 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me Netherlands. Give me Netherlands in a close one, though.
All right, I'm going to give you another one from that bracket. Australia and Turkey.
Ooh, Turkey is surprise, but I think in the knockout stage, this is when the countries who are favored start to rise to the top. So give me Australia.
All right, 2 for me. Germany and Denmark. Give me Denmark. And then you got Spain and Georgia. I'm going to go Spain.
Surprise.
So
I know
yes.
Georgia was the big surprise. Yeah, that was a big and I know Portugal was already favored to go to the next round, but still for, Georgia to get that win to then advance to the knockout, I was like, wow, that's my favorite part of these tournaments is how crazy and how passionate the fans are, and when the camera angles pan to them, because they live and breathe. Like only thing I can think of is like how we are for football, right?
Yes.
How in the United States, how we flip out for the Super Bowl, for playoffs, college football, but that's how they are all season for their clubs. And that for me, this time of year for the country was always fun to watch.
God rest his soul. Gus would always say that. He goes, look, as much as Super Bowl is a big thing here, but around the globe, soccer is number one. Speaking of, let's see what I got here. Europe next, France or Belgium?
Belgium.
All right.
France has. I feel like France and Mbappe have been slacking this tournament.
Mm-hmm. And your last one would be Portugal and Slovenia.
I'm a big Ronaldo guy, so Portugal is biased.
Yes. And listen, all these games are going to be at noon, so starting Saturday all the way up to July 2nd, all of them would be, every game at noon. So, listen, a lot of stuff going on, but right now we need the Philadelphia Union to handle their own business here Saturday night. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at the breaking point with the Philadelphia Union and their fan base. Something needs to turn around. This is the get-right game. Even though this team is banged up with injuries, there's a lot of holes on this team. Hopefully, somebody will step up and come through. But it sounds like a tall order dealing with a backup goaltender, dealing with one of your playmakers being on minutes restrictions. It's a tall order for what you want this team to do. The defense is still lackluster. Things need to turn around. That's the first thing that needs to turn around. Then you can, hopefully, if that could turn around, then everything else can kind of smooth itself out. That's the way I look at it. If your defense can kind of smooth it, fix their own problems, start playing like they would play. Imagine Andre Blake's back there. Like I said, you think this would be going on if that guy was back there? No. I've seen it. I've seen that man command, step up or get out of here. So, and one more before we get out of here is there, Steve. Let's go right to it. Of course, we have to talk about the outer market games. Where do you want to go? I think I'm going to go live.
So the other one for – go ahead.
No. I think my out-of-market game, I'm going to go to the team that kind of kicked our tail. I want to go to Houston and Charlotte for Saturday.
Nice. I was thinking that one, and then because I for sure thought you were going to go Miami, Nashville. So I was thinking that one. So I'm glad you said that one. So I want to go Miami, Nashville, because I want to see what Miami is able to do without all their guys. We saw it firsthand, but now I feel like this is like a string of matches in a row for Miami, where let's see what this club really can do without their superstars and stuff like that. So, and Nashville's playing really well, so I think that'll be a fun one to be able to tune into.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be. Nashville is up and down, but listen, for all of us we used to look down at all these teams. Now we're looking up just about every one of them. So listen, Steve, you're give me one more final thought about the Philadelphia Union heading into this game, and then give your plugs.
Final thought is back on the road where you've played a lot better this season than at home. So find something. And at this point, and it sucks that I'm at this point, but you got to start finding things to start building on for next season, almost in a sense, because this is going to be your club again. This is going to be your guys, unless they prove that they're going to go and get someone. But they got to be able to prove that they're not going to give up. So show me that you're at least not going to give up and just roll over for the rest of this season. And maybe Gazdag can be that new leader for them. So that's what I'm hoping for. And the other thing I wanted to mention was on Sunday for Copa America, we got Jamaica versus Venezuela, where we could be seeing Damian Lowe versus Jose Martinez. So I can't wait to tune into that one. And then the other out of market, I guess, matchup is on Monday. USA needs to get the win versus Uruguay in order to advance in to the knockout stages for the Copa America. So those two would definitely be interesting to be able to watch and see. Always definitely intriguing to see how teammates on the MLS side then go up against. It's all love, I know, but at the end of the day, when you're between those white lines, it's they're competing. So, and two guys like Jose Martinez and Damian Lowe, who definitely give it their all when they're out on the pitch. It will be for great atmosphere, I think, and great TV. So those games I'm looking forward to. What are you guys looking forward to? What matches international, whether it be Copa, whether it be the Euros, MLS? Tune in, ask, comment, let us know what games you guys are watching. Hey, Pat, I got a question for you, and tell me how you, or I guess maybe a protest in a kind of way. I'm not going to advocate for any sort of fan walkouts or anything, but I think one way that fans, if they want to do a protest of not going or boycott going to the stadium, but still be able to enjoy the games, there are tons of places that I know the Sons of Ben advertise to go watch away games. I know that there are other, locations where people get together to watch games. Why not, instead of going to the stadium, you just treat a home game like an away game and just go watch a watch party and watch it with your friends at a bar or something like that? You're still going to be rooting for your team. You're just not doing it at the stadium. And you're doing it in a productive way where it's like, hey, I'm still watching my club. I'm still supporting them. I'm just not supporting them down at the stadium to prove a point, right? And I feel like those are maybe a productive and way of going about it. What do you think?
That's a way. That's fair. I mean, listen, this team is. If you're like you said, we all just like I said. My final thoughts. We all know Kronz is not going to come walking through that door. However, you're not going to get a Messier either going to go through that door. A Messier type. They're going to go, as J.D. Walker likes to say, they're going to go into the Walmart bin where it says the $5 movies, and they're going to get the low budget. Didn't make it to the films, didn't make it to the theater, and they're going to tell you that's going to be your playlist. And for that reason, you should just be done with it. This is a doormat team. This is a team that's meant to get window shop. It's not meant to go any further than what it is. So if they have it down, it's not going to hurt them any less. That's just here. Take you can have a diamond in the rough, and it's just there to get shopped at. It sucks because I thought this is the whole goal is to make something of this. Like I said, Messi is trying to turn the MLS to that next level. But the Philadelphia Union is are not open to it. Don't tell me they don't have cash because they got 2 brand new soccer fields. I see them in action yesterday. So they got plenty of it. But, and to your point, no, I would do what you do. If I would just chill somewhere at home. You got the package. Maybe go hang out with your buddies at somewhere else. But send a message because they're obviously not going to. The boo birds is just falling on deaf ears at this point. They could care less. Boo your boo. But it's a shame because I feel bad because it's like it's like going to a restaurant, right? It's like going to a restaurant. The cook is responsible for your food, and he makes it half-ass, and the waitress who comes to display it to you is going to heat for it because the person in front of you is delivering the stuff, and they're going to get booed, not the cook. You know what I mean? Or so
yeah.
I guess that's a weird analogy of looking at it. But yeah, I just feel like to stop showing up to the restaurant, stop. Don't take it on the waiter. Let the waiter. I'm not going to be. I'll just. You're a good buddy of mine. I'll just tell everyone about your recipe, but I'm not coming there to eat it though, because me and the cook just can't meet, or me and the manager is just not getting along. So I keep on asking, can you please put some chicken on there? And he keeps on getting me duck. I don't know, but yeah, it's a weird dynamic with this team. It's just like I said, it's a shame. It's just not panning out like it was supposed to on paper. But however, Steve, my final thought for this game. Someone needs to come through. Someone, please step up. You understand what's surrounding this team, the injury bug, and I'm hoping someone comes through. This is the get right game for somebody off the bench, somebody to say, "Hey, I'm going to take this by the horns, and I'm going to prove the whole wide world wrong." And that's what I'm hoping for. But guys, look, catch me, Pat from Mandler, right there on X. Tomorrow I will be live here doing the Phillies postgame show, the finals tomorrow night. Looking towards that as always. And, of course, and again, guys, catch my man Phil Stifle tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock right here on Edge of Philly Sports. So, guys, for me, my man Steve, we are out of here.